Ugali, and the ugali for me here in this metaphor is what we call the lows, right? The ones that you feel in your stomach and in your abdomen, and it moves and
The base.
the base part. If it's too much,
Super metro high.
high super metro, it's overwhelming. If it's too little, it's not exciting. So I have to get the right amount of uzito.
If you're still watching us, thank you very much. We need the viewership, by
You
the
have
way.
no choice. You have to watch.
Thank you. Yes, obviously. My name is obviously Sido. This is where your passion becomes a profession, where creativity finds direction. This is ADMI, and we are here with this is Hendrick Sam.
Yeah.
Before the break, Hendrik was introducing us to sound engineering. He
Yep.
has taken us through the complexities of the capture process.
Mm-hmm.
Quick recap, you have to manipulate the room so that, because that affects the audio that the source is going to give. Then the quality of the receiving equipment, that is the microphone, actually matters. And the transportation equipment, which is the cable, actually matters. So now we are in the manipulate stage of sound engineering, which I assume is everything that happens in the... Are you ready for this, guys?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
DAW.
Oh my God.
The digital audio workstation. How do I know that? Because I'm amazing. That's why. And I do my due diligence. So
Did Ken talk about that?
you can talk about the DAW.
I can.
What can we talk about?
We can talk about everything. How's the weather?
The weather is amazing. Equinox. You know.
Oh man.
This conversation can really, really spiral.
Where? Guys, yeah, jishikilieni tu. Kila mtu seatbelt. We can. Okay.
So let's talk about manipulation.
Yes.
I mean manipulating sound.
Yes. Yes. So manipulation. You see, there are narcissists in this. No. Now.
Conversation is triggering.
Oh God.
Hendrix, take it
Oh
away.
wow. So you see, after you've like captured your sound, and something that I should have said in the capture stage is, even the source matters. See, like a guitarist needs to tune their sound, their guitar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's on the musical side. You watch a producer apambane na hali yake. But by the time we're getting into the manipulate stage, like proper manipulation of the sound, we're looking at several things. Yeah, I want to think like a chef. I don't know how far I can push this analogy, but we will see. Stage one after capturing is you have your files that you've recorded, right? For the purposes of being accurate, this whole business, when it is in the physical world, I call it sound. The minute it enters a microphone and becomes electricity onward, I call it audio. So there are two different things in my mind. So grab that one and run with it. Yeah. So when it's in the physical world, I call it sound. When it's in cables and computers, I call it audio. When it is in cables running around as electricity, we call it analog. When it's in computers and things like that, we call it digital. So that's why we call it digital audio workstation.
Audio. Okay. Oh yes.
Yes, that's why we're calling it a digital audio workstation. Don't digital sound workstation. Because what it's handling is audio in digital format. So the first thing we look at is, after you have your files and you throw them into your DAW for short, there are several things I can do to manipulate it. If it's just one piece of audio, I only have to focus on the one piece of audio. This is like boiling an egg. Just boil the egg.
So if you're talking, okay, let me understand. One piece of audio, do you mean, thinking as the music producer that I am, is it maybe you're focusing on vocals or an instrument? What do you mean by one piece of audio?
Like one source of the audio. So it could be a voice, it could be just the guitar that you recorded, it could be an instrument or something. But it's just the one and nothing else. It's like boiling an egg. There's only so much you can do to it because it's single, it's like alone. You know. Well, you can take that egg and decide to fry it up and throw in salt or make it poached. For whatever reason people eat poached eggs, I don't know, but Or yeah, runny yolk. Are you a runny yolk person?
Of course not.
Okay.
Focus.
I'm trying to. This analogy has to be fully milked.
You use food. That's the problem.
Okay. My bad, guys. Or you can turn it into an omelette. You can go crazy with one piece of audio, but there are limits you can't get to if you're just working on one element. But once you have several of them, different elements together, your mind has to shift slightly. Now you think of like a chef who is making a big course meal, like several courses, or just one meal that is complex. The ratios of the things I'm mixing matters. You see that word mixing comes in there. So this manipulation stage will have a mixing element to it, where I'm deciding how much of this vocal do I want to be heard. How much of these drums do I want to be heard? How are they sounding? Fine, it's a vocal.
Why does it sound like music production?
Ish, but the music producer is focusing on the content, the musical content of the source, not the sonic content of the source.
This is interesting.
Yes, not how it sounds.
Okay.
Is what melodies is it doing? What?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
How much liberty does a sound engineer have to manipulate? Because I'm thinking this is a creative process.
Yes.
Thank God, I think we chose the really good analogy, because there's a saying that too many cooks spoil the broth.
Yes.
You get? So
Yes.
I'm assuming from a music producer's perspective, he's like, I want the drums at this and this minute or whatever. But then the sound engineer is like, this doesn't sound good. But the music producer is like, it might not sound good to you, but
to
it's
me,
a creation. Like I
want.
Yes, I want runny eggs.
Yes.
You understand? So
yes.
I'm curious, what is even the question? Yes, the amount of creative liberty and manipulative liberty that has to be intertwined between a producer and an engineer.
And an engineer. The sound engineer, for the most part, has to, like, quote unquote, submit to the vision of the producer, because at the end of the day, it's what's the ultimate creative output. In other words, what am I trying to accomplish with the song? The person who carries that vision is usually the producer.
Sure.
So every move that I do as an engineer has to serve the vision of the producer.
I have a question.
Yes.
Using my world when it comes to the creative sides of things, creative side of things. When we shoot this thingy, we are the source of the content.
Yeah.
But the person that's going to process this content, that is editing it, is either Izo or Jeff.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
So they will edit, industry standards, whatever, but these preferences that I have, that I will either tell them before, after, or during, or if there's something they need, we'll go back and forth and get corrections. So can we say then that the music producer is the creative, and then the sound engineer is like the editor of that sound?
Yes. Yes. Spot on. Spot on.
So you're just sound editing.
Yes, there's a creative aspect to it, and we will get to it
editing,
when
yes.
with editing. But yeah, for the most part, that's how it is.
Okay, so you will take the finished product. So you're not necessarily involved in the whole capture process. You can inform it, but your job is to get the finished product from the music producer and refine it.
Yes, that is if you've decided. This is the world that we call mixing. So we have mixing engineers. It's a subset of sound engineering, but they are focusing on tusafishe kazi ya producer i sound poa.
Na mastering ni nani?
Mastering anasafisha kazi ya mixing engineer. We will talk about it.
Okay,
we will talk
please
about it. Yeah.
Continue.
So where was I? Oh yeah. Ratios, levels. I'm mixing my ingredients. I'm putting my ingredients together. I'm putting the food together. I have to decide how much. If I'm doing, what meal can I talk about? Something that is
complex.
Well, we can have something simple. Sasa niende na eat ugali, mayai, avocado, Chris High, and mboga, for example. If I cook that things in very simple way, and just decide to cook a big sufria of ugali for whatever reason, it's 2 eggs. The ratios are off. A fistful of greens and a slice of avocado. Is that balanced?
No.
No. So a mixing engineer is always thinking balance. Whatever they're gonna do, they're always thinking balance. Whatever the goal of the producer is or the artist is with the song, they're always thinking. Ugali, and the ugali for me here in this metaphor is what we call the lows, right? The ones that you feel in your stomach and in your abdomen, and it moves and
The bass.
the bass part. If it's too much,
Super metro
high super metro, it's overwhelming. If it's too little, it's not exciting. So I have to get the right amount of uzito in the song.
Interesting.
It's an art of itself. It's now this is focusing. Remember the details that the mics or the instruments gave us. We usually subdivide those details into three: the bass, the mids, and the highs. And all of them have to work in relation to each other so that we get this thing we call balance. Working on just the bass is an art form.
Wow.
It's an art form. People tell me, Hendrick, muziki yako inagonga. Like if I know Hendrick is involved in this song, it must. And I'm like, hell yeah, because I spent like 2 years trying out to figure out the art of bass. Mids is another monster, because human beings, we experience a lot of our life, sonically speaking, sound-wise, in the mids. Conversation, mids. Working with our equipment and various things in life, mids. When we hear bass happening in the, think of that hunter-gatherer society in the past, and they hear a lot of bass in the environment, they're thinking danger. Until we got to a point where we were like, we can actually use this for entertainment. But before then, bass is danger. Danger is coming, right? Or if then there's the highest part, which we will get to in a few. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of the sounds we interact with in our environment happens in mids. So when things are off in the mids, we are very sensitive to that. Maana when the mids are not well balanced, utasema ina sound like iko kwa sufuria, kwa mtungi. Ama if it's too much, you're like, hey, this is annoying to listen to.
Yes.
That's mids. There's an art to balancing mids.
Okay.
Nimesema bass, na bado mids ndio hiyo. Then you have highs. That's where you have the clarity of the voice. That's where you have, detail.
So everything you're talking about is in the instruments.
Yes.
I'm thinking a cappella, even voices can be involved.
Whether it's the element by itself or everything put together.
Okay.
The way they will interact with each other matters. I'm just isolating so that people have categories in their mind. Yeah. Yeah. So even the highs, nini nini, pia, it's an art form. Too much and it's harsh. Too little, it's not clear. Put everything together. Balance the bass in such a way that it's delivering the right amount of excitement, but it's not overwhelming. The mids in such a way that the important meat of the music, the information, is balanced, sounds good for the ear. That's where, lyrics utazisikizia hapo. Ile instrument yenye unapenda itakuwa tu hapo, imekaa hapo, inakuserenade. And then highs is the clarity. If it doesn't have clarity, it's like listening to music with 144p on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can tell some of the detail is gone. But if it's enough and it's there, and you balance them, all of them together nicely, you have something that works. Enough ugali, enough mayai and mboga, and enough whatever. Yeah. Avocado. On top of that, avocado. And the meal is complete. But then there's if I work with the same ingredients and I give someone who is experienced versus someone who is just starting out to cook. Mtu anapika ugali mwenye hajui kupika ugali vizuri, it will come out with lumps of flour and whatnot. It's ugali still. Or because they're like, oh my God, I can't now keep making ugali that's like this. They now shift to the other extreme where it's ugali but it's soft. It's too soft. Takes someone who is experienced to know, I'm gonna cook this ugali with this amount of flour, this amount of water. This is how I interact with the heat so that the ugali cooks well. And I'm also conscious of the amounts and things like that. I can add butter to it if I so desire. Now, kuna wale wa blue band wenye siwaelewi, lakini you get what I'm trying to say. You can, sawa, kuna huyo mtu anaweza cook ugali vipoa, but there's someone who can do it very well and just give you a taste of that ugali that you're like, Even alone,
The
this
one that
ugali,
tastes like water, yeah.
yeah, even alone, this ugali is slapping. You know,
Yeah.
there's that. Same with the mayai. I can just decide I just crack the eggs and do it scrambled, just and then sprinkle salt. Or I can decide I'm gonna cook this in butter or olive oil or cooking oil, whatever vegetable oil you're gonna use. I'm gonna use onions. I'm gonna spice the onions, and then I'm gonna put in capsicum and whatnot, and just you can go crazy and coriander stems and cook that before I throw in the eggs and mix it up all nicely. Maybe add some cream for just make it a bit more fluffy, or something I tried a while back, and I don't know what I was thinking. I threw in yogurt in there and it became fluffy, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. And I did that, and then I added garnish on top of that and made something very nice. And I have ugali that slaps, and I have mayai that slaps. And then there's someone you can tell to make the boga, and they'll just wash
Steam
it
it.
and steam it, and they're done. And then there's the person who will like, now let's start with the oil, nini, stuff right, nini, and then I'll throw in salt and cream it up. The meal is yeah. And then there's avocado. There's so much you can do with it, but avocado just works in of itself. If I'm thinking of the highs like avocado, people stress too much about highs in my experience, and it's like this like a chumvi. If you're gonna go crazy, make guacamole, but chillax with the highs. Same thing here. If you have an experienced sound engineer who knows how to handle the bass, mids, and highs, they will bring together your work very well. But if you have someone who just knows how the bare minimum, it will just sound. So you have sound engineers who know how to bring out the detail out of the ingredients, and there are those ones who just bare minimum, right? So ratios here, the first part I tell people is ratios. Even the plating of the food is important, right? If I'm listening to music and I'm wearing headphones, there are some things I'm hearing zinatoka kwa
This
side,
yeah.
zingine this side, ingine inasoundika inahaga kichwa yangu, ingine inasoundika kwa katikati ya kichwa. That's a sound engineer who is making those decisions so that you can hear it like that. Yeah. Oh, iko na reverb, iko na echo. I can hear mtu akisema sedo. Those small, tiny details. That's the engineer. Hey, Kautamu, funny guys, I made that song. You are too amazing. Yeah. So you can get to that level of detail is what I'm saying. Oh, the gear a sound engineer uses. We're talking about a chef here.
We're still under manipulate.
We are still under manipulate.
So now the crock pots and everything.
The crock pots and everything. Searing meat in a cast iron pan versus a steel pan versus hizi zenye zinakuanga zi stick zinaitwaje? Non-stick. Or a grill or smoking. It's the same ingredient. But the results you can get out of this ingredient is different depending on what tools you use. So the engineer also has tools inside the DAW that they can use. And they are those basic ones that you can't do without. You have equalizer and compressor. Equalizer will deal with lows, highs, and mids. And equalizer will be like smack there as the main tool I'm using to balance those ones. How much mids do I? And I can do it per element, per instrument, group of instruments put together, the entire song put together. I can use equalization EQ on those levels. The element, many vocals together, I can do that. Drums, your kick ikiwa peke yake, snare ikiwa peke yake, I can do that. And then when I put them together, drums peke yake, na bado nimefanya vocals peke yake, bass peke yake. Kama bass ni mingi, if there are many bass elements, I can do each single or when they come together, and the entire thing as well. So I have to think in those multiple levels. Your mind just needs to go deep and wide. Because you change something here, it affects everything else, how you perceive everything else.
Like moving something in a Word document.
Exactly. Yeah, you move something. Yeah, hey, Microsoft Word, fix that problem. Yeah, but you get the idea.
Yes, yes,
so that's
yes.
EQ. Compression is it's controlling. Okay, to keep things simple, it's controlling how much of the element is the stability of the element itself. For example, someone who is singing can choose to sing very loudly, and then they go very soft. I want stability,
Okay.
like in volume.
So you lessen the loud whatevers, and then you.
You bring up the that's compressor.
Interesting.
But then it does that for you automatically. It has its settings that you mess around with, and then it gives you the final result that you're looking for, if you know how to use the tool. So imagine now I'm balancing the louds and the softs and everything in the medium. That's volume-wise, and then there's frequencies. Those are the two big things an engineer is working on: the volume of things and the detail and the balance of things. Put them together.
The meal.
Yes, and you have your song, and hopefully the producer likes it. Yeah, so that's the manipulation side of it.
This is so interesting. The first thing I was thinking to myself is, wow, this is so much work.
Yeah.
And you can often tell, like, I don't know whether I'm just a critic or a stickler or whatever, call me whatever.
Yeah.
But I can tell music where, like, the producers just did the bare minimum. So, and it's not even like me taking a jab at the producer or anything. Like, there's a song that was released, I think, mid last year, and it's just two friends making fun of each other. So they have this ongoing beef, and then this song was released, and like the minute you can just hear it, it started with a simple beat, and then like
something
basic instruments and whatever, and like the song was meant as a joke, so I understand even like putting whatever minimum effort and whatever. But now I understand the complexity of that whole process. Especially that food metaphor was so good. I was really trying to focus because I was seeing a lot of food.
Yes.
But ladies and gentlemen,
we are hungry,
we
guys.
are.
Yeah.
Now we
want
know. Now we know.
Yeah.
The complexities of manipulating audio.
Yes.
You see, I use audio and not sound.
No, exactly. And just as a final topping on the cherry, there are people who do this manipulation live, and there are people who do it in studio.
Now that's a very confusing thing.
Yes.
Because I remember Kennedy bringing up the fact, talking about how you can have a DAW in a live event. And I'm like, I understand as a music producer, you needing this thingy. But see, live, it keeps going back to microphone, cable, speaker. What's there? You get? So you're talking about somebody doing this manipulation live. What is that?
Let's remove the DAW from the picture for a minute.
Okay, sure.
The mixer.
I've gotten it.
Yes.
So this is interesting.
Because even in the DAW, there's a mixer there.
Internally.
Internally, it has a mixer, and then there's this physical one.
So is this one of those complex mixers that I can hear? I once attended an event, and when the person was singing, they'd put like this filter on, for lack of a better word, and it sounded, the microphone was producing a very nice acoustic sound, as if this person was singing in a garage. You get? So there's even a little bit of echo. It sounds like they're singing like the angels.
Yes.
So that's what you're talking about, this manipulation happening live.
Yes.
But I understand the need of that filter, but what else? Like, what else would people need? Somebody needs to sound like they have a bass, or?
It's the same mindset, but now for a live performance. So now the engineer is reacting in real time to the performance of someone, not something that has been recorded.
Interesting.
The one in studio is working with pre-recorded things.
Okay.
The one live is responding in real time to the performances that people on stage are doing.
So that means that even the music that we see being recorded live is actually also manipulated.
Live, yes. For the audience that's there. So
even
now,
for us who receive it,
for
like
us who receive it later, yes. So now what Ken was trying to say, I think at that point, is when you bring a DAW in a live setting, what function or purpose is it doing there? Because it can do several things. Musicians on the stage could be using a DAW to play back pre-recorded elements. As in, they can run a whole show from that.
Yes.
On this side where the engineer can be, yes, I'm doing live mixing, but I'm also recording it at the same time to a computer so that I can give it to someone who can mix it now in studio environment for the release.
Interesting.
Him is doing it for the live audience,
Mm-hmm.
which has its own problems because now I'm dealing with a completely different
Mm-hmm.
playback environment.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going into the playback
Yes,
part
yes.
after this. And then for the studio guy is thinking, this music is going to be played on streaming platforms, on phone speakers, laptop speakers, headphones. It might end up on sound systems. It needs to sound good everywhere. So that's what this person is thinking about. Huyu mwingine anafikiria, in this environment where I'm doing the live mixing, it needs to sound good here.
This is interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so first of all, to all the sound engineers out there, consider this my formal apology. I'm sorry. I was ignorant.
Fixing the nation one person at a time, guys.
Let's get out of here. This is
Shank
where your
late.
passion becomes a profession, where creativity finds direction. This is ADMI, and I am your host,
Oh,
Sedo.
Settle.